I think it's a very intriguing fight, two generational greats. You know, I think it's very difficult for Bud moving up that high in weight, but if anyone can do it, it might be him. You know, his movement and his IQ is second to none. But it's different when you're facing Canelo Alvarez up there.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fantastic fight. You know, two generational greats, two pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw...
Eddie Hearn has just shared his verdict on the highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. However, Sam Jones, a big fan of Terence Crawford, believes that Crawford will be too small to compete with Canelo. While he respects Crawford's skills, he thinks Canelo's size and strength will be too much to overcome. Jones described Canelo as a powerful and solid fighter. Not necessarily tall, but built like a block of muscle. He emphasized that Canelo's physicality would be the key factor, making it very difficult for Crawford to win the fight.
I prefer Crawford. Listen, I'm a big Terence Crawford fan, right? I think I love Terence Crawford, huge Crawford fan. I just think in this fight, he's just going to be too small in this fight. Canelo is massive. Like, he's a unit. He's not tall in stature, but if you've been around Canelo, he's just a lump, isn't he, Canelo? He's a right lump, and I just think Canelo would be too big for him.
We haven't had a chance to talk.
Dana White also shared his thoughts on the potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it a super fight between two highly accomplished fighters. When asked who he thinks would win, he admitted that he didn't know. However, he confirmed that he is likely to attend the fight if it happens.
I don't know. I mean, these are two guys that have accomplished a lot. You know, it's one of what you would call a super fight. Absolutely. And I do super fights, so...
Who do you feel wins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Will you be in attendance? Will you be there?
Probably. More than likely, yes.
Eddie Hearn described the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford as an intriguing matchup between two generational greats. He acknowledged that moving up in weight would be a huge challenge for Crawford, but noted that if anyone could pull it off, it might be him due to his exceptional movement and ring IQ. However, Hearn pointed out that facing Canelo at 168 pounds is one thing, but on fight night, Canelo could weigh around 180 to 185 pounds, making it an even bigger challenge for Crawford.
I think it's a very intriguing fight, two generational greats. You know, I think it's very difficult for Bud moving up that high in weight, but if anyone can do it, it might be him. You know, his movement and his IQ is second to none. But it's different when you're facing Canelo Alvarez up there. You know, not just at 168, but on the night, probably 180, 185. You know, it's going to be a big task.
Moreover, Keith Thurman said that Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he is not unbeatable. He explained that Alvarez possesses strong defense, effective offense, excellent timing, sharp head movement, and tremendous power.
The thing about Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not unbeatable. Now, you can say this about every fighter, but this is Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is extremely hard to beat, but he's not unbeatable.
Paulie Malignaggi believed that Crawford was meant to win this fight. It seemed like boxing favored him because of the way he built his career compared to how Canelo built his.
The right thing is supposed to happen every once in a while in this freaking world, which it never does. I feel like Crawford is supposed to win this fight. It's just a favorite of boxing for the way he went about his career and the way Canelo went about his career.
Kevin Cunningham believes Terence Crawford has the talent and intelligence to defeat Canelo Alvarez, though it will be a tough challenge. He acknowledges Canelo as one of the greatest fighters ever, but sees Crawford as a special boxer capable of moving up in weight and still succeeding. While he doesn't expect Crawford to dominate, he thinks Crawford is skilled enough to find weaknesses in Canelo's style and pull off the victory.
It's one of the greatest fighters ever. So I think Terence is special, you know, and it's going to take it takes a special fighter to move up multiple weight classes and still dominate. And I think Terence Crawford has the ability, not to say he'll dominate Canelo Alvarez, but I think he's special enough to where he can find a way to expose Canelo's flaws and pull it off. I just think he's a special enough fighter, and he's gifted enough, and he's smart enough to win a boxing match with Canelo Alvarez.
Kevin Cunningham also believes Terence Crawford will not only use his boxing skills against Canelo Alvarez, but will also fight aggressively to earn Canelo's respect. He expects Crawford to be smart in his approach, balancing technical skill with physicality. Cunningham is confident that Crawford has what it takes to win, reinforcing his belief that Crawford can pull off the victory.
I think what you'll see with Terence is a boxer, but he's also going to try to beat up. He's going to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's going to box, but he's going to get his respect too, and he's going to be smart about it. You know, so I think he can. I really think Terence can pull this.
Eddie Hearn described Crawford versus Canelo as a battle between two generational greats, but believes the weight difference would be too much for Crawford. He pointed out that even at 154 pounds, Crawford isn't a big fighter, making 168 an even greater challenge. While acknowledging Crawford's incredible skill and boxing IQ, Hearn emphasized that Canelo is also highly intelligent in the ring and would have the size advantage. He suggested that Canelo must start aggressively because Crawford's foot movement could make it difficult for him to land clean shots.
It's a fantastic fight, you know, two generational greats, two pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw that physically, I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160, and he's definitely not even a small 168. So, but he has got unbelievable skill, and he's got a huge boxing IQ, but so has Canelo Alvarez. So I do give him the edge in that fight.
Do we see a stoppage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
If Canelo's active in the fight, depends. He's got to get to him early. Yeah. Terence will be moving his feet, and Canelo won't like that. You know, he wants you to come and fight him.
Moreover, WWE superstar Big E expressed his excitement for a potential fight between Terence, Bud Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez, believing it's a matchup that most boxing fans want to see. While acknowledging Canelo's size advantage, he questioned whether the wear and tear of his long career might start showing. Big E made it clear that he can't root against Crawford right now, and if forced to choose, he would pick him to win by decision, though he doesn't believe Crawford would knock Canelo out.
Bud and Canelo. Can we please get Bud Crawford and Canelo? I don't know if we're going to see it, but man, I think that's what damn near all fight fans want to see.
Who do you have in that fight? Break it down.
I don't know, man. I can't root against Bud right now. You wonder if Canelo and the miles start to catch up. It's a great fight. Obviously, Canelo's the bigger man, but seeing Bud put some weight on, I won't root against Bud. Gun to my head, I'll go Bud Crawford.
Dang. So how do you see it going? Decision, knockout?
A decision. I don't think he'd finish Canelo, but I think we'd see a decision.
Or has the power to maybe keep Canelo honest and maybe
you don't need power.
But just I'm just saying, I guess the aspect is Canelo's gonna want to press him, you know, at some point. But you know, Crawford likes to fight.
Okay, Canelo wanted to press Floyd too.
True.
He tried to. Floyd kept stepping around him. You know, kept looking for Floyd. You know, Floyd was right there. And then would just make one or two simple moves, and then have to reset. Floyd never had to reset. Boom, 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 step around. Boom, 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 step around. That was it. Trust me, Crawford's going to look at that. He's going to perfect that. And that's why I didn't.
Ronnie Shields analyzed Terence Crawford's ability to handle Canelo Alvarez's pressure, drawing comparisons to Floyd Mayweather's dominant performance against Canelo. He pointed out that when Canelo tried to press Mayweather, the former champion used precise footwork and angles to step around him, forcing Canelo to constantly reset. Shields believes Crawford will study and perfect that approach, using his own movement and ring IQ to frustrate Canelo. He expressed confidence that Crawford has a strong chance of success if he executes a smart and disciplined game plan.
Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience. He's very.
Ismail Madoff shared his thoughts on the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that the outcome would depend on how the fight plays out. He believes that if the fight goes the full 12 rounds, Crawford's skill and strategy would give him the edge. However, if there's a knockout, he favors Canelo due to his power. Madoff acknowledged Crawford's intelligence, experience, and well-rounded skill set, which make him a difficult opponent for anyone in the ring.
It's just 50-50. It's very, very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's giving away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight. So that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
Bob Arum weighed in on the potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, highlighting the significant weight difference as a major factor. While acknowledging that Canelo is a highly skilled fighter, Arum expressed his belief that Crawford possesses a superior skill set. Despite the challenge of giving away a lot of real weight, he suggested that if he had to place a bet, he would favor Crawford due to his exceptional boxing ability. However, he recognized that the size disparity could play a crucial role in the fight's outcome. 13. Caleb Plant highlighted Terence Crawford's strength and solid punching ability. He pointed out that Crawford can switch between orthodox and southpaw while effectively controlling distance, whether up close at mid-range or from the outside. Plant expressed excitement about the fight, acknowledging the unpredictability that makes it even more intriguing. Fans are eager to see how it all plays out in the ring.
I give him a chance. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, be able to find out firsthand.
Plant also shared his advice for Terence, encouraging him to stick to his natural style. He emphasized Terence's ability to fight at different ranges and switch stances with ease. He advised him to stay composed, enjoy the moment, and focus on having a strong training camp. In the end, he said it all comes down to stepping into the ring and seeing what happens.
I would just encourage Terence to be himself. As I said before, from the inside, mid-range, outside, southpaw, right hand, moving left, moving right, he can do it all. So I would encourage him to stay relaxed, go in there, have fun, have a good camp, and let the dice.
Roy Jones Jr. argued that weight would not be the deciding factor in a potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford. He emphasized that the outcome would depend on how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo sticks to his strengths and executes a well-thought-out game plan, he would have the upper hand. On the other hand, any missteps or lack of strategy could give Crawford the opportunity to take control and secure victory.
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins.
Bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to a box fight. Yeah.
So you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, that, another. But no, Canelo's still
Amir Khan emphasized that Crawford's size may not be enough to beat Canelo. He noted Canelo's technical improvements since their fight and highlighted his strong performances against Bivol and Munguia. Despite talks of aging, Khan believes Canelo remains a dominant force and a tough challenge for Crawford.
So how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you got to, what are you going to have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds? So he might be a little slower, or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that, moving up in weight and things like that. So it's a little harder, but I don't know. You know, we'll see on fight night how
Jaron Boots. Ennis pointed out the challenge Crawford might face in gaining 14 pounds for fight with Canelo. He noted that added weight could affect Crawford's speed and performance, making his adaptation uncertain until fight night. Danny Garcia acknowledged the excitement of a Canelo versus Crawford fight, praising both as elite fighters. He found the stylistic clash interesting, but noted that Canelo's size at 168 pounds would be a major challenge for Crawford. Despite this, he emphasized the fight's massive appeal and financial impact.
And if they feel like, you know, it makes sense and they want to fight each other, stylistically, it's a great fight. But, you know, Canelo, he's a big dude. And I think it'd be hard for anyone to beat him at 158. But, you know, it's definitely a big money fight, and that's why
Adonis Wilkins analyzed the upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, suggesting that Crawford's jump to 168 pounds could work against him. While he recognized Crawford's talent, he noted that adding more weight after already moving up to 154 pounds might slow him down. Wilkins emphasized that Canelo's power would be the defining factor, as Crawford might not carry the same punching force at the higher weight. Wilkins predicted a late-round victory for Canelo, drawing parallels to Canelo's fight with Caleb Plant. He expects Crawford to start strong, but lose stamina by the 10th round, allowing Canelo's power to take control. Once the fight reaches the later rounds, Wilkins believes Canelo will land heavy shots and wear Crawford down. Teofimo Lopez weighed in on the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that both fighters must first handle their upcoming challenges. He pointed out that in modern boxing, a fighter's reputation is largely determined by their most recent performance. Because of this, Lopez believes it's essential to see how Crawford and Canelo fare in their next bouts before making any definitive predictions about their possible matchup. Jose Benavidez Jr. voiced strong support for Terence Crawford, arguing that many are overlooking his chances against Canelo Alvarez. While acknowledging Canelo's size and weight advantage, he highlighted Crawford's sharp boxing IQ and tactical mindset. Benavidez also expressed frustration that his brother, David Benavidez, never got the opportunity to face Canelo, though he noted that only Canelo knows why. Despite this, he remains confident that Crawford would make the fight exciting. Benavidez Jr. praised Crawford's ability to switch stances, making him an unpredictable and versatile opponent. He pointed out that many fighters already fear Canelo, which gives him a psychological advantage, but he is certain Crawford won't be intimidated. Instead, he believes Crawford's strategic approach could allow him to take control and gain the upper hand in the fight. Joel Diaz dismissed the idea that Crawford could easily defeat Canelo, calling such claims unrealistic due to the significant size difference. He emphasized that Canelo's strength and power could change the fight with a single punch. Diaz pointed out that while Crawford has already moved up from 147 to 154 pounds, jumping to 168 would be an even bigger challenge, as it requires adjusting to a much larger weight class. Blair Cobbs expressed great respect for Terence Crawford, describing him as a close friend and a fighter he has supported for years. However, he found it difficult to pick a winner in a potential matchup against Canelo Alvarez. Cobbs recognized the challenge Crawford would face due to Canelo's durability and size. While he hopes Crawford emerges victorious, he acknowledged the significant obstacles Crawford must overcome in such a demanding fight. Brian Norman admitted that choosing a winner between Crawford and Canelo was difficult at first, as both are exceptional fighters. He acknowledged that size usually plays a major role, giving the bigger fighter an edge. However, he recalled cases like Roberto Duran and Shane Mosley, who successfully moved up in weight and secured major victories. Drawing from those examples, Norman believes Crawford can follow a similar path and is confident in picking him to win.